Namaste, Soul Tribe. I'm KamalaDevi. My pronouns are they, them, their. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this huge dilemma that I'm having. I know you're probably having, like the world is really split over going digital, going online. Everything seems to be, high tech instead of high touch. My orientation as a sex, educator, awakener, Tantra advocate is more, sharing breath and bodies and deep embodiment. And now that we're, because of the pandemic, separated by our homes and talking to little screens, that there's a real sense of can we really connect through these mediums? And it's a challenge for me. I'm sure it is for you as well. I mean, I'm a mother of a 13-year-old boy who just went into the 8th grade, and he's doing digital distance learning, and it's a whole new world having him in the other room, logging on to classes. It's surreal, and we're all dealing with this shift in different ways. I mean, some of you are working from home, some of you probably lost your jobs in the process and are looking for ways to be in right livelihood online, because that's the direction of the future, is how do we connect and meet our market online? And so you can hear even in the tone of my voice that there's a judgment or an exasperation. It's an adjustment for everyone. And I have old stories that are oh, you're selling out, or oh, you're marketing, or because anytime we want to share what we're doing online, the world is inundated information overload. So in order to get our videos seen, whether they're webinars or festivals or symposiums, whatever we're doing, podcasts, we have to get it in front of people, which involves marketing. And then there's even more shame or, around self-promotion. Because I'm an artist, first and foremost. Many of you know me from my reality show, and you also know that I'm writing, and these 2 books just came out this year in 2020. Strange year to be publishing 2 books. And I love the creative process, and I actually wanted to throw a big party, a sexy author event, and be on tour, but that all got canceled. And so now I'm doing podcasts and interviews and trying to, go online and get these messages, get this story in people's hands and in their hearts. And I feel fractured, because it's am I an artist or am I a merchant? And I imagine that you have a similar kind of challenge. And the way that my musing, my meditation right now is, how can I surrender more to this new reality? How can I stop resisting it? Because in truth, since these books came out, I've had my foot on the brake, and I'm driving around with the brakes on, and it's wasting energy, as opposed to just being okay, I'm going to just share, this is what I've written. I want to invite you into the conversation. I want to get it out there. And of course, there's fear, not just of failure, but fear of success. I want to be a book best-selling author, and then I'm scared to do that. Having written a handful of books, I think about I want to write more, but what's the point of writing, if you don't get it out there? So that's what my dilemma sounds like. And today I'm sort of asking my soul tribe for your accountability, your support, your allyship, as I declare and step into more willingness to just show up and share and make invitations. I'm starting a new YouTube channel, and it's I can notice myself, if I wasn't Latina, I'd be blushing. I'm so excited to be having deep conversations and inviting people into it, which is really the nature of my YouTube channel. It's called The Sacred Sexy Show. maybe I'll do a little, I'll show you my opener. I'll share that. I'll share a link to my show opener. But the Sacred Sexy show has been, so far, it's like, hey, last week I talked to Charles Muir, and I'm having these great conversations with people whose stories I want to get out there and not keep to myself. So I'm going to include you in it via YouTube. And it's a new concept for me, as it is for most people. But I'm letting go of the shame, and I'm just going to, the way, okay, so here's my big upgrade about marketing. Because my resistance as a spiritual guide is the knowing that our PR, public, polished persona activates the ego, that it's not the true self. And so there's the inherent fear that, okay, if I start marketing, whether it's my books or this or that or the website, that I'm going to get attached to that identity, and that's actually going to limit my connection to the infinite self. And knowing with the center of gravity, is the source within, that I have many costumes, many different, looks or masks or roles that I play, knowing that my doing that, my telling those stories, that making those invitations actually is my ministry. And this is how I get the word out. This helps me let go of marketing as something that's like, whether it's manipulative or it's ego driven, and it helps me align with marketing is just magnetism. Marketing is me sharing what's alive in my heart and seeing who's resonant. It's like making an invitation and trusting that if someone's called to it, they'll come, and if they're not, they won't. And if they want to unsubscribe or block me, that's it's a thank you for taking care of yourself. But I do need support in saying, okay, let's get these books out there. So I do highly recommend, not only would I love your support making these books a bestseller, but also join me for the readings. I'm going to do these live author readings and interviews for this book with top Tantra teachers and sacred sexual healers. And I've got a wisdom circle on Facebook where those interviews will be posted. And then for this book, I'm going to go live on Thursdays because I can't wait till Fridays. And I'm going to read a chapter and then talk about all things poly, kinky, queer, tantric. Because 52 Fridays, the subtitle is a polyamorous, queer, kinky, tantric love story. So I invite you to join those conversations. I invite you to deepen your own work in the world, to stay engaged with me on YouTube, and we'll see what else we create this fall. Blessings.